What's up, Neon Nation? Today we're going over the top 10 moments of the 48-minute gameplay demo for Cyberpunk 2077. There's so much to love here throughout the entirety of the gameplay demo, but there were definitely some standout moments. Be sure to stick around for number 1, which you may or may not agree with me on. I'd also love to hear your personal top 10 list, so drop a comment and let me know what you guys are digging and what you've seen so far from Cyberpunk. At number 10, we have the appearance of Trauma Team. Trauma Team, a high-end insurance in the world of Night City, are some of the strongest NPCs you'll encounter in the world. They're some of the only people that will enter the combat zone, and the team is comprised of former soldiers and black operatives that are not only deadly but smart in battle. You better not get in the way of them extracting a high-end patient, because they will dispatch of you fairly quickly with their high-tech weaponry, combat armor, and years of training. At number 9, we have V's apartment. V's apartment is fully equipped with a Night City vending machine, interface on her windows, a weapons bunker, and a closet for her clothes. V lives in a dread-like megastructure, teeming and fluid with life, as you can see from the heavy bustle of megastructure dwellers and inhabitants. V is able to progress to different and more lavish apartments as you become a more proficient mercenary with more eddies to blow, which gives us the possibility of maybe having a stunning vista view like this from 100 stories up. Number 8 is our friendly neighborhood Ripper Doctor. Responsible for upgrading our cybernetics to the latest and greatest, Dr. Victor seems to be quite a likable guy. Upgrading our cybernetics takes us through unique and fully fleshed out animations, which vary based on what kind of upgrade you're getting. Victor works in a moody, dark dungeon-like basement and is essentially a futuristic surgeon with a knack for technological components. Victor is seemingly a legal Ripper Doctor in Night City, but we do know that there are illegal Ripper Docs operating and hiding that have some of the latest and greatest illegal black market cyberware, which I will be all over when the game ships. Number 7 is character customization. We see a ton of options to customize our characters in Cyberpunk 2077, from their tattoos to cybernetic facial wiring to choosing our personal backstory and upgrading stats like cool and intelligence levels. Whilst I believe the final build will have a dizzying array of options, the work in progress build that was shown still shows some awesome ways to personalize our character and details surrounding V. At number 6, we have Jackie's supercar, which V takes for a joyride. The roar of the engine is satisfyingly powerful, and switching from third person to first person seems to be a really nice addition, especially since driving in first person can be a little tedious even though the immersion factor is higher in this perspective. Now we have confirmation that a variety of incredibly fast and sleek vehicles will be in Cyberpunk 2077, like Akira-styled superbikes, heavily armored cruisers, and even aerodynes and flying cars. All of these are typical of the Cyberpunk genre and ooze style and innovative design. We can also steal cars in Night City, but be wary of who you try to forcibly eject from their vehicle, as it may come back to bite you in the ass later down the line. At number 5, we have a brief sequence where we see Night City at night. The genre of Cyberpunk is largely known for its noir themes of everlasting night and rain. Now Cyberpunk 2077 features a full day and night cycle with even adverse weather effects like acid rain. We didn't get to see Night City too much after the sun goes down, but this is where the vibrancy and light pollution of the neon lights on the skyscraper-like mega buildings really add to the ambiance of the world. Add that to the fact that you're more likely to encounter increasingly dangerous enemies at night, and you have yourself a world where night is meaningful and reflective of real life, where crime and suspect activities usually happen within the veil of darkness that night creates. Next, we have our meetup with the Maelstrom, a psycho gang with the distinct aesthetic of the front optic mount and their red eye augmentations. This gang has some real character to it, with Dum Dum having an out-of-place friendly demeanor in contrast to Royce and the psychosis and anger he exudes from not only his look but his introduction. The Maelstrom are bunkered up in a food processing plant, and their lair is a believable and distinctly cyberpunk locale. What's really exciting about this is the potential for each and every unique gang to be fully distinguishable from each other. This can be reflective in their variety of styles and designs, where they call home, their motives, as well as their dominant personality traits. Up next, we have something that I'm hoping will play a pivotal role in our playstyles in Cyberpunk 2077. The hacking sequence in the demo looked high-tech and in-depth, with V jacking into the Maelstrom network using her wrist USB device. We can see we're using a cyberdeck on the top, which is also used by netrunners to access the net. This segment allows us to unlock a variety of quick hacks, including the ability to jam enemies' weapons. The net is a huge aspect of the Cyberpunk lore, and hacking plays a significant part of that, so even briefly seeing it means that they're playing with this idea and taking it seriously. The interface looks futuristic and adds an additional layer on top of regular combat that we can choose to use to spice up gameplay. Next we have high-tiered abilities and weapons. The Mantis Blade Smart Rifle, Blunderbuss, and Militech Rifle were all incredibly awesome weapons in both their gameplay elements and design. Most weapons come with an alternate fire that dishes out more damage and the ability to add on modules. The Mantis Blades give us not only a lethal melee ranged weapon, but the potential for some truly impressive mobility options and chaining. Weapons are the bread and butter of gameplay, so it's always nice to see weapon diversity in a work in progress build. We can also see swords in 2077, and I'm dying to see the version of the demo where there was a bullet deflecting katana and seeing how polished that looks in comparison to the Mantis Blades. All in all, it shows that there will be a variety of different ways to approach each battle, a characteristic of a great RPG game. Finally, at number 1, we have stepping onto the streets of Night City for the first time as the Cyberpunk logo assembles itself in the air. An absolutely mind-blowing segment of the demo, the detail, scale, density, colors, vibrancy, and sheer diversity packed onto the screen is enough to make any gamer giddy with excitement. Even contrasting the same section from the E3 trailer, we see more detail poured into it, more NPC density, and a more boisterous environment. We even see people moving at their own pace and schedules, being rendered far into the distance. This was a sequence that really made this world feel like a living, breathing place in the dark future. That's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching, and for everything and anything Cyberpunk 2077, join Neon Nation and the Neon Arcade today.